fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ? Whoa.
What's up, guys? I am Elogotar, and this is my first vid. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I have lots of stuff planned. We're gonna see, like, I don't really know what I'm doing with cameras and the technology right now, but I'm just gonna learn what I can as I go, and we're gonna see what I can do in the future. I got lots of stuff planned, like game commentaries, just me talking about whatever the topic of the day is, just random crazy stupid shit. And you guys can like it or not, I don't really care, I'm just doing this for fun. But the topic at hand is my thoughts on the Metroid franchise, and I don't feel like it's getting the respect it deserves, you know? It's like there aren't as many games in the franchise, like, even though it's been out as long as anything else, you know? Alright, so Metroid just celebrated its 25th anniversary, right? It should be like forefront in gamers' minds right about now, or at least around last August when it happened, which by coincidence was the same week as my 25th birthday. Anyways, you know, that seems like a really good time to come out with a new game, but, you know, Metroid's got nothing, and it's not the first time, you know, in the history of gaming that Metroid's just sort of been left out in the cold. Like, I mean, on N64 they didn't even have a Metroid game. What's up with that, man? It's like Samus is getting no love. Everybody wants to play with that boy toy Link. I mean, I like Zelda as much as the next guy, but come on. And then there's competitors like Castlevania. Don't even get me started on Castlevania. I'm not really sure which one came first, I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure Metroid came out before Castlevania, and I feel like it's just been tagging along and taking over, trying to perfect what Metroid did better first anyways. Symphony of the Night was just, it was Super Metroid, except instead of using a laser and missiles and shit, you get to use a gay-ass whip and holy water. I mean, who wants to use holy water? Another example, you know, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I remember before the game came out, you know, I think this was still before they had even announced Sonic and Snake being in the game. They had this big contest on Smash Bros. Dojo, which is like the official Smash Bros. Site. And it was like this contest, like everybody was trying to nominate and vote for their favorite Nintendo characters, trying to get them as a playable character in Brawl. They still hadn't decided what all the playable characters were going to be. And, you know, Ridley was high up there. Lots of other game franchises in Super Smash Bros. Already have, you know, their bad guy in there. You know, Mario has Bowser as a playable character, Ganondorf is a playable character, King Dedede, I don't know. Anyways, the point is that Ridley would make a really good Smash Brothers character. You know, I mean, I can already imagine some of his moves. If you're a player of the franchise, then you know pretty much what he does. You know, everybody likes to think of Super Metroid as like the Ridley, and so do I. You know, it's pretty simple what his moves would be. You know, he'd be kind of like Kirby. He'd be able to fly, like not infinite fly, but he'd have like 5 flaps or whatever, and then he'd fall. Up B, you know, he could do like that thing where he like swoops in and grabs you and picks you up into the air for a second. Down B, you know, tail smash where he bounces, and side B is flames. You know, it's not that hard to make this shit up. I mean, half these moves are already programmed into the game, they just have to remodel the animations for the character. You know, back to talking about why people don't seem to like Metroid as much as the other games that Nintendo puts out. You know, I've heard things like Metroid doesn't have a story. I don't really see how you can say that. There are plenty of other games that don't have a story. Games are about gameplay, not story. And if you really want to make the argument, you know, Metroid does have a story. It's kind of convoluted at times, and it's not really forced right into your face like some other games like to do it, but you know, there's definitely a story there, especially when you get to the Prime trilogy and some of the other newer games. Personally, I think that Other M would have been better if they had better voice acting. When you're trying to do voice acting for a major game, I don't really think you should use the kind of quality voice acting they use on Saturday morning cartoons. People can't really take it seriously, you know? franchise, though, is just appealing for so many reasons. I don't understand why they haven't made as many games as they could have, especially seeing as how short they are once you already know what to do. Like, the beauty in the Metroid franchise is backtracking and exploration. It's all for, if you're one of those people that likes to be led from place to place and you don't really want to think about what you're doing, you just want to shoot at stuff randomly, you're not like Twitch gaming, which, you know, I play Call of Duty 3, or Modern Warfare 3, so I know about Twitch gaming, but, you know, Metroid's not like that. It's for the thinker. And it's a great game for those types of players. It highly rewards exploration, and that's how you get a lot of the story. Once again, back to Other M, a lot of people I read online were dissing Other M, like it was so bad. Honestly, I like it more than the Prime games, gameplay-wise. It's more action-oriented, it's faster paced, it's, you know, that's what I imagine Samus as being like, you know. My only real gripes with Other M were the terrible soundtrack compared to the rest of the franchise, which the Metroid franchise has a fantastic soundtrack. Like, above all the other things that Metroid does, is like, its soundtrack is just fantastic. It really captures the atmosphere of what the games want you to feel. And there's a huge community out there devoted to just remixing Metroid. Like, I mean, game remixes are pretty common on the net these days, but the Metroid franchise has one of the biggest remix communities online, right up there with games like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy series has a big remix community, and who else does? Mega Man. There's a lot of Mega Man mixes out there. Speaking of soundtracks, I just want to point out that the background music for this video is a song off Harmony of a Hunter, which is a 2-disc compilation album of remixes from the Metroid franchise, put out as sort of a thing for the fans, by the fans. This celebration of the 25th anniversary of Metroid, which is pretty sweet. There's lots of great stuff on there. You should check it out if you're a fan. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and put this out there as kind of a request to people who may not have checked out the franchise before or played any of the Metroid games. You guys don't really know what you're missing. If you're a fan of games like Portal or Portal 2, you know, there are plenty of older games that maybe you haven't given a chance that might turn out to be pretty awesome. So anyways, kiddies, if you haven't played Metroid, check out at least Super Metroid. If you're going to play something out of the entire franchise, play that one, because it'll blow your mind. Anyways, guys, I will see you when I put up my next vid. See you next mission.